Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday to everyone. I am having a little technical difficulty this morning. I should have known yesterday. Was already becoming a challenge. I was talking about the technical difficulties of our own heart and mind. And boy, we've got plenty to do there, don't we? But now I'm on my phone. And Carrie, I hope you're on because I can't see too much through the phone screen. Can you help me get people in this morning?
Yes, I've been on since 10 to 7.
So you're already got it all managed, which I'm
Yep.
deeply grateful for because Zoom is not on my computer any longer for some odd reason. And I'm not going to investigate that now. Just to say thank you, for being there to support us, Carrie, like you always do. And then two, thank you to all of you for being here to practice together. This is very important time for me also for practice. We don't have to read too many news blogs, newspapers. You don't have to catch too much of the headline to know that this is a very intense time and one of struggle for many, not only financially, of course, but because of the lack of work, the lack of food, the lack of connection happening in our world right now. I guess I just read that we're down to 2% availability in San Diego County for hospital space, which seems unbelievable. I'm going to check that with Carrie.
I think it's even less, Di.
Wow. When I read that
my hospital
number,
is at 150%, so we've had to increase our hospital or ICU beds by 25%.
Wow. So that is accurate. I couldn't imagine. I can't imagine, I have to say with humility. But people like Carrie, people like Renee, there are other healthcare workers in our Sangha. I am grateful, eternally grateful to the hard work, essential work you're doing every day. Thank you. And I was thinking, yesterday evening, we did a self-compassion practice. And really, for me, it was the preamble to the Tonglen practice that we're going to do today. But as I thought about it this morning, the truth is that self-compassion can't be the preamble. It's got the preamble, the amble, and the postamble, because if we cannot feel for our own sorrow, if we cannot feel for our own confusion, our own disappointment, our own anger, our own sense of helplessness or hopelessness, whenever those feelings come, and of course we know they are feelings, they are not realities, except that they're true, we are feeling them. But the truth is that there is also the deep heart, mind, the one that holds everything, including these times, especially as we approach the holidays with people not getting to celebrate with loved ones, and in a way, maybe even healthy and alone, that it is our job. And I feel we are all capable. We have been training for this, as Clarissa Estes says. And so I thought I would begin, since we're going to do a Tonglen practice, beginning with self-compassion and ending with self-compassion. And in the midst of that, what we will see is that there is warmth and room and light and space. Warmth and room and light and space to hold everything. And I'm going to dedicate this practice to Carrie, to Renee, and to all those essential healthcare workers who are working hard every day to make this workable for us too. So as you're preparing to sit, as we prepare to do this Tonglen sending and taking practice. For those of you who may not have done the radical compassion piece of our Bodhisattva path with us, I'm going to read a few things from Clarissa Estes. And here's what she has to say. One of the most important steps you can take to help calm the storm is not to allow yourself to be taken in a flurry of overwrought emotion or despair, thereby accidentally contributing to the swale and the swirl. Ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but of stretching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. Very important. That is within our reach. And someone is within your reach, if no other than you. Any small, calm thing that one soul can do to help another soul, to assist some portion of this poor, suffering world, will help immensely. It is not given to us to know which acts or by whom will cause the critical mass to tip toward an enduring good. What is needed for dramatic change is an accumulation of acts, adding to, adding more, continuing. We know that it does not take everyone on earth to bring justice and peace, but only a small, determined group who will not give up during the first, second, or 100th gale. One of the most calming and powerful actions you can do to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. Soul on deck shines like gold in dark times. The light of the soul throws sparks, can send up flares, builds signal fires, causes prop matters to catch fire, to display the lantern of soul in shadowy earth, and to show mercy to others both are acts of immense bravery and greatest necessity. Immense bravery and greatest necessity. Struggling souls catch light from other souls who are fully lit and willing to show it. If you would help to calm the tumult, this would be one of the strongest things you could do. And so let's prepare to sit. As we call to mind the idea of this fiery, luminous, lit candle of the awakened heart mind that Clarissa Estes is talking about. We gather just a few moments of good, a few moments of kindness, just a few moments of tenderness. We recollect them so that we can reignite that flame and show that emblazoned soul. May we dedicate this practice to Carrie, to Renee, to all those healthcare workers who are working hard every day to make sure that we are safe and well, that we are connected, that we have ease. Calling to mind any essential workers, any healthcare workers, any firemen, any police, any grocery store clerks, those who are out there every day, regardless of the statistics, contributing to you, your happiness and your well-being. And may we offer this practice to them and to all beings everywhere for all the contributions made each day, each breath. May they know that they matter, that they are essential to our ease, to our happiness, and to our survival. May we offer this without exception, omitting none, awakening us and freeing us all. So beginning to settle the body. Just seeing how those words of Clarissa Estes and one's aspiration and intention have enlivened you, feeling into that enlivened heart, mind, in the body. See where you notice it. As we breathe in, we ignite the good heart, the one who remembers the blessings, the privileges, the benefits that we have received to be well and alive here today. And as we cultivate this loving presence within, as we are beginning to flame those, that awakening, that gratitude, that appreciation, that love, and that compassion with the in-breath. With the out-breath, we're going to see if we can't begin to breathe it out also, just to create a loving presence, bigger than oneself, bigger than the world, bigger than all perceived form. We're going to breathe out into the boundless and awakened heart mind that holds us all. As we breathe out, feeling that sense of loving presence, of warmth, of safety, that sheltering embrace, being fed by your own heart. May it nourish and sustain not only ourselves, but others. And if you feel flagging, if you feel weary, focus a little more on the in-breath. Remembering the good, nourishing oneself, one's own heart and soul. And settle it then in the presence of your own being. Spread that love, that compassion, that care throughout your own mind, body. Remembering that concern for others, that gentle smile, remembering that wish that others be happy, be safe, and be well, that you are living each day. We fortify ourselves in the good. This allows us the stability, the groundedness, the strength, the perseverance to turn towards suffering. We remember and light our own hearts before turning to the dark. This is essential practice. With that out breath, that loving and compassionate presence, we nurture it either within ourselves or in the open space around us, creating a larger container if that's available to you. Or I often do both. I just let the mind go where it goes and then nourish that. So the last 3 breaths, interestingly, were just in my own body. We are worthy and deserving of this. Heal yourself, fortify yourself so that you can be that continuing light of awakening and goodness for others. See where the mind goes. If breathing out feels a little too big, a little overwhelming, then stay home. Breathe into the good heart and breathe out that loving presence right from head to toe in your own body. The mind takes the shape of that which it places itself upon. We're going to place our mind upon this essentially, foundationally good heart. And then I just like you to scan the heart, scan the breathscape, finding a place there where you notice a contact with a little bit of vulnerability, maybe a tenderness, a weariness, a sorrow. Something we have ignored for a too long. And as we turn our caring, loving presence towards that place in the body, you may choose to also place your hand there. I'm just going to place it directly over my heart. You can place one hand there or two. And before we can heal the world, as Kuan Yin uh, healed the cries of the whole of the world, healed all the sorrows, what happened first was that she was whole and healed and offered that to herself. And so we will do that now also. Finding that tender spot, that point of sorrow, of confusion, of anger, of vulnerability, in whatever form it takes. And placing one's attention, as well as these loving and gentle hands, placing them there. And as we breathe in, touching this tenderness, can we ignite that light of healing, that warmth, that spaciousness, that loving presence, and offer it to ourselves? And if you feel like you don't have enough yourself, what naturally happens for me often, and I will lend it to you, is I call on all the awakened ones before: my grandmother Irene, my father, my brother, those who are no longer here, but I know are continually present and loving. I call on them and draw that loving presence in as well. Let it be real, something you have actually felt, and use it, recollect it. It is love that abides forever. And offer their love as well as your own to healing this vulnerability, this pain, and this sorrow in you. Breathe it in. We offer physical touch. We can also, of course, offer soothing phrases. May I be whole and healed to serve the world. May I be whole to provide for my family. May I be a light in the dark. See what comes for you. There is only one way to cultivate compassion, and that is the turning directly towards the truth of suffering. We cannot ignore it. We cannot avoid it. We cannot pretend it doesn't exist. But we do breathe it in simply one breath and one moment at a time. And in this way, we can work with whatever the difficulty, whatever the challenge, whatever the fear might be. We're already breathing. So why not infuse it with loving, compassionate presence? May I be free from this distress. May I have ease and well-being. With each breath, seeing if you can't continue to offer that essential nourishment to yourself. As we breathe out, creating and expanding that loving presence throughout your own body, and then beyond the body out into that vast open embrace, the deep heart. And then, if you would, beyond this, offering this continually to oneself, see if you can't remember to do this also for moments throughout the day. Remembering that this point in contact with vulnerability, with pain, with sorrow, is not only yours, but is being felt and experienced by the whole of the human condition. It is not only you who knows this, but others too. And we begin to expand the compassionate heart then, beyond ourselves, to include at least one other who knows this suffering too, this heartbreak, this confusion, this aloneness. Call to mind at least one other. And maybe for you, there's a variety of others. If the mind calls it forth, I believe you're capable of holding it. It might not even be a person you know, it might be a whole group of those who have been disenfranchised, those who have been denied equal access to wealth, to healthcare, to education, to justice. Just see what comes to mind for you. And expanding this most compassionate heart and its infinite embrace to include them. Picturing them, breathing them in. Staying close to the truth of the vulnerability of the suffering that you feel, remembering that they feel it too. You know exactly what they're feeling because you feel it too. And so now you're going to begin to breathe in not only for yourself, but for the other. And we're breathing in with the aspiration that we can begin to heal their sorrow by drawing it from them, taking it in, and using it to create light and healing, good medicine, and compassion. And then with the out breath, we send it out. That loving, compassionate presence. And literally, there would be no one you could call to mind who wouldn't know something about your experience, the pain you know, the confusion you know, the anger and energy you feel. Whoever you would turn to, they would know this too. This is a part of the human condition. And as it is felt by all of us, it can ultimately be held by all of us, beginning with you. If at any time you're feeling that contractedness, that grip, see if you can't come back to yourself for a few breaths, simply being with, bearing witness, making contact with the truth of the vulnerability in us, and then open back up when you're ready. Breathing in for oneself and then oneself and another. Sending out the blessing. And for some, we know that it helps to offer a phrase, may you be free from this distress. Sometimes just a loving phrase, I am here with you. And see, then if you can expand this heart beyond the individual or the group to include others. And so, because I have called Carrie to mind and Renee to mind, I can now call all nurse practitioners, all nurses, all healthcare workers to mind, knowing that they too know this suffering and wish to be free. And I can breathe in for all of them. As that heart continues to grow, expand, and embrace. Offering refuge, protection, safety, and compassion to all those who feel just like this. And then we can simply rest back in that open, boundless, and compassionate heart, that infinite presence that is within and all around us as well. We can simply breathe in the truth of suffering as we make contact with it, just point by point. Don't drum it up. Just see what's true. An ache like this, a weariness like that, a misunderstanding, whatever comes to mind when it is a moment of difficulty, we breathe it in, make real contact, feel the felt sense, know the suffering. We can't get out of it, it's already here. And then we simply hold, create loving space, share the burden, breathe it in. And then we send out all the good we can muster, all the supplies, all the wealth, all the vaccine, all the anti-venom, whatever we've got, We offer it on the out breath. And if nothing comes to mind, simply rest in that loving and compassionate presence. Drink it in. And I'll use myself again as an example since my mind is like your mind. I just called to mind my son Tanner, who was quite distressed about being confronted by his brother for not wearing a mask at work. And there was an exchange, a quite loving exchange actually, but an exchange that said, we can't risk this for grandpa. Even if you trust your coworkers, even if you believe they're safe, you can't be here without a mask thinking that something won't happen. And I could see the distress in Tanner, this absolutely unthinkable idea that he by accident could contribute to his grandfather's uh, ill health or getting the virus. And my heart just broke because I know it's just not in him. But there were some actions he was taking or not taking that could by accident contribute that he couldn't see, like us all. And I know about this. I know about actions I could not see that had the potential for causing harm, or in fact did cause harm. And so I could breathe in for us both. For the confusion, the ignorance, the lack of understanding in us all that can cause harm, intended or not. And I can send out understanding, forgiveness, mercy, acceptance, understanding his goodness and mine. I can breathe out the good medicine of that loving and compassionate embrace for me, for Tanner, and then for all of us. And make sure you stay present and make it real for how it really feels to acknowledge this. And then to hold it and then to stay. Breathing right into the suffering and sending out that relief. This is the path of the Bodhisattva, who not only hears the cries of the world, but responds with an infinitely open, embracing, compassionate heart. And then just resting back completely, just melting into that compassionate embrace yourself, coming back into those most loving arms, and just resting. May we all have happiness and the causes for happiness. True, abiding, unconditional happiness. May we all be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. Free from greed, from hatred, from ignorance. Free from fear, aggression, delusion. May we all have ease and well-being and have a place to rest this weary heart mind. And may we all remember who we really are and that which we have all come from. May we be the light in the dark, the doctor, the nurse, and the good medicine to all in need. The river, the boat, the bridge, the raft, so that we may all find the way to freedom. May we be that wish-fulfilling tree, offering oneself to oneself, and out of that wholeness, offering what one can to others. The light of the soul throws sparks, can send up flares, signal fires, sending healing out to the whole of the world. And may this practice contribute. So just taking a moment, doing a little stretching, opening the body. I will definitely send out the writing by Clarissa Estes. It's actually quite stunning, isn't it? Carrie is saying thank you to everyone for the practice. Carrie, may you know that you are a blessing to us. Renee, the same. And all those who work every day in our behalf for our well-being. So one of the things I wanted to talk about, well, to remind us, oh, Renee, you're so welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you, truly. I wanted to talk about how we remember. Because when we are not practicing like this regularly, what I notice, even for myself after all these years of practice, is that I forget to use the breath as the healing wand, as the activator of that loving and compassionate presence. It's so easy to forget and to get caught in our own swirling minds, so that we are not only not available to ourselves, right? This is bad enough. We're not even available to ourselves because we're locked and caught in that contraction. But then we cannot be that guiding light, that standing mast that can endure the trials and tribulations of this life. So what I'd like to do is talk for just a moment together about how do you plan to remember? What are we doing to recollect this? It's a busy time. It's easy for the mind to turn outward very continuously all day in tasking, especially as we get closer to the holidays. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that now that things are changing? But how are you remembering to stabilize yourself, to turn towards the difficult, to breathe it in, and to then send out what you have, even if it's simply a phrase or wishes or a smile or your own loving presence, which, by the way, can be felt. Can be felt. So come on, say hello. Let me know how you're working with this. I'm trusting somebody's trying to work with this.
Hi, Diana.
Hi.
This is Andy. I have a video. There I am.
Here you go.
I'm teaching a very stripped down version of this morning at the Drug and Alcohol Treatment Center. And what I do with the clients is I give them the "What's in your wallet" discussion. They respond to that, and we put together little note cards. It takes a while to get down to the note card, and it's typically 5 things that you do when you're going to relapse, right? That comes from a recovery program. But then also I take in over the years all the other note cards where I have put my morning intentions. I write them on a note card, put them in my back pocket. So it's a real hands-on show tell. It's not as deeply moving as this experience that we just had was, but yeah, in a more basic way, that's what I'm doing with this practice. And actually, who I learned it from was Dr. Mimi Gennari all those years ago. Wow. So I'll sign off with that.
Wonderful, Andy. Andy, it's lovely to see you, by the way. Andy, you're an essential worker as well. Thank you for the work you're doing. I love practicals, by the way. I think this is the everydayness of our practice. So writing things down on note cards, sticking them on dashboards, mirrors, keeping them in a pocket. We all really need it right here, don't we? If you have a selfie stick, stick it on there, carry it around, read it. That would be a useful purpose for that equipment kind of thing. Write a note to yourself that you keep in your text, so that, and I do that, by the way. I'm not so into writing like this anymore, but I write my aspirations in a text to myself, and I check my text, honestly, no less than 45 times a day. And I'm not kidding. I wish it weren't true, but in the work I do, it is true. I'm not looking for where we're going clubbing, but I am looking for appointments and how to instruct others. And so 45 times a day is not a bad number to see those aspirations that I write in all caps, aspirations on, even if I don't read the text. It doesn't even matter. There it is. It's right there for me. It's like a wake-up bell for us all. Oh, aspirations, that's right. I take a few breaths to recount them. May I use this breath and my own presence to invite healing in myself and the world. Right? If you don't have another aspiration, yeah, use that one. You're going to write that one down. Yeah, well, there's any number of infinite aspirations. I see Annika is here. Andy, so good to see you. I want to check in and make sure I'm checking in. It's finals week, Annika. Wow. Okay. I can't even imagine what that might be like there right now. Telling the kids, but it's for me as well, that if you feel you can't do it, if you feel like you're losing it, take a hot shower, eat a snack, drink some tea or water. Yes, nourish or nurture yourself in some very practical, here we go with the practicals, right, way. And just that you're saying that as a professor, Annika, I know, is giving those kids a sense of permission and allowing that they might be able to do that for themselves, that this is essential, not just a good idea, right? I repeat this to them every time we talk. Wonderful. Yes, and also your own presence. This is essential.
Yeah, I can you hear me?
Yes, Dennis.
Because my cat is walking on my laptop right now, and so
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't lose you. I wanted to share because I'm with a lot of various students. Most of them are children. I do have adults, and so after we do our tennis, I either stand a little distance away from them, or sometimes they're sitting down or wherever, and I'm saying, what are you noticing and what are you feeling? What are you noticing and what are you feeling? And I am just amazed on what they bring out, and just to say, no, I'm not feeling very good today. And I said, yeah, I can tell. I can see it in your face. I can tell, what's going on. And I said, do you want to share any more about what's going on? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But if they do, I said, well, listen. We're going to listen. We'll listen. We're not going to say anything, but we'll listen. And I'm feeling really good about doing that, because it makes my heart kind of stop and just say, all's well. It's not about the tennis, it's about, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? So I'm very blessed to still be out there, and some of the parents are obviously very concerned right now. And so I go, that's fine. I say, you don't want to bring your children. I get it. I said, it's okay with me. So I do have a lot of people who are still coming. And so that's a blessing. Of course, it's outside. Everybody's wearing their mask to or from. Some even keep them on when they're playing. I said, that's fine. Keep it on, whatever makes you feel right,
That's right.
is okay with me.
That's
So
right.
I just wanted to share that, because every day is just like, whew, I have a lot on my plate, as you have a lot on your plate. And it's like, whoa, what are the essentials here? What are the real, pearls? So
Right.
I'm trying to just, drink my green juice and trying to stay positive
Yeah.
and, you know, let my cat out in the morning so she can explore
Yes.
and, and feed my wild ducks and wild birds. So
Lovely.
that's my
Lovely.
life.
Yes, that's wonderful. I
Yeah.
think just the two things you said, Dennis, that were so valuable to remember are one, where we place attention, right? Just checking in is a form of attention. And then also creating that beautiful presence that you said, I'm just here to hear it. And that's a holding space that we were talking about earlier. It doesn't matter, what's said, and it just that you were interested, that you cared, that you asked, and that you listened. This is as much as anyone could ask for, truly. And children often do not get asked, how are you? Really, how are you? And also getting children out to move. What a beautiful offering and contribution that is. They need that, really, essentially. And if parents can't do it themselves, well, there you are. How wonderful that they can bring their children to you for a little respite of just being outside in movement. How amazing and beautiful is that?
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Yeah, nobody wants to do the peewees, a little 5 years old, so the peewees are coming my way.
Yeah, peewees are tough because the balls go everywhere but across the net. that's yeah. There's a lot going. There's a lot of chasing. You're going to be really healthy, Dennis. Thank you. So there's another opportunity, by the way, to breathe in. So as you're hearing children speak, as you're hearing other stories, as you're hearing others tell you about their day, about their moment, about their experience, can we stay present and breathe that in and hold that with them also? And then I say things to little kids like, I'm sending you all relief. I'm sending you all my happiness. I'm sending you all my strength. I'm sending you, the good medicine for your sick puppy. I make real statements like that. And you can see that they begin to understand that there's a heart larger, right, than their own, also holding them. And I think that's it's essentially important. So thank you. And may we all continue that no matter who we're in front of, right? Because we're all children who are sometimes lonely, who are sometimes scared, who are sometimes confused. No matter how bitchy or complainy or cranky or impatient we look, right? These are just versions, folks, of adults crying. That's it. So don't mistake it. Stay present, as Dennis is saying. See if you can't just inquire and breathe with for a few breaths. I want you to feel the difference of that. But I also know it's not very possible to underscore this piece unless you're also offering that to yourself at times in the day, unless you're stopping and inquiring into your own how are you right now, today, right this moment. If you're just giving it away, the truth is we run out. We have to offer this to ourselves. And so Andy and I were talking about, how do I remember to breathe for myself? How do I remember how to come back home, hold my own heart, and offer myself healing, relief, blessings, and soothing? This is equally important. Please do this. Get your hands on your hearts at least a couple times a day, folks. We all need this oxygen, this essential supply right now. And without it, we cannot be well. We cannot be well. And I want us all to be well, because we are, as Clarissa Estes said, it only takes a few. It only takes a few who are awakened, loving, present to infect, really faster than any virus, the whole of the world. And so know that this is also true and see what you can contribute. I'll check in one more time, see if anyone else has anything to offer. Anybody else want anything to say?
This is
Before
Victor.
Hi, Victor. Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to be here. I hear people say, and I thought similar things recently about that I want to listen to people consciously, you know, really try to understand what they have to say. And it's easier to listen to people whom you like, but it's not that difficult if you make it a point, right? Okay, I'm gonna listen to this person. He's or she is talking to me, and it may be just a random person, but just consciously listen and not try to think. Just understand what they say. It feels like it is kind of a practice to think when you listen to yourself. It might be even harder to listen to yourself, because if someone talks, you just need to focus on that.
Yes.
I
I think you're
think it's a
right.
good,
I think
very,
it is
very
harder.
important thing.
Yes. And I try to breathe in the words. If you can imagine what I'm saying, my practice in deep listening is to see if I can't just breathe in what the person is actually saying as a way of also being in their skin, in their hearts, and holding it with them. And the truth is, I think it's a healing elixir all by itself. Whether you ever said anything or just nodded, your understanding of their difficulty or of their suffering. But we are afraid to do this. Do you know why? Why are we afraid to actually acknowledge or join another's suffering?
I don't know, you try to fix, you try to give advice, you try to run.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. We don't want to feel pain or suffering or difficulty or hopelessness or weariness. We'd rather get away from it, number one. So, get disinterested, get distracted, get busy somewhere else, or we try to fix it, which, by the way, is considered a way out of compassion, not a way into first. You have to first be with suffering, holding it in your own heart mind, which means you will also feel that pain. That is the truth of it. But from there, what I know, as I did for my own son the other day, I could feel his distress and feel for him then dramatically, as I saw that he was aware that there was something he was doing that could cause a difficulty. And then I immediately remembered my own, all those moments when I acted from ignorance or confusion or disinterest, even, who knows, all the factors, and the harm, right? Can I feel for myself and others in this? And I love the breathing in, silently, still, breathing in the words, and see if it doesn't make a difference. I would love for everybody to practice this week. This is the deepest listening and offers some immense and terrific healing. Just breathe. Now acknowledge. You can give the head, yes, I'm understanding what you're saying, right? And hold it with them first. Then you can say something like, I can feel the pain of this. I know your distress. I'm here with you. Whatever other thing you might offer, don't let it be first. Let yourself, your whole body being, feel it and hold it too. Thank you, Victor. It's so nice to see you. I've missed seeing you. This is delightful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, compassion is also contagious, as is love, and much more contagious, by the way. than any virus. We don't offer it enough. We don't trust that reality. We think it's also finite and runs out, which is also not true. It does mean, however, that we have to extend it to ourselves as well, by the way. So yes, we run out when we think it only goes one direction. I'm suggesting we offer this both to ourselves and to others. Thank you so much, Victor. Anyone else before we sign off? It's about 8:15 now. If anyone else has anything to say, we'd love to hear from you. Looks like we're good. I'll check chat one more time. Thank you all so much. One of the things I will say, yes, love transcends. Thank you. One of the things I will say is that I'm going to be presenting 2 books next week for our January study series. One of them is Real Change by Sharon Salzberg. And another one, I haven't picked the other one yet. I'm still looking. But if you have the book, or if you've thought about any interest in the book, you may want to take a look at that. I think we'll do a book about that size. We really took a long time to work on the Bodhisattva Path. We're going to bring that with us to every other book we ever read. But A Real Change by Sharon Salzberg is one of them. So if you have a chance to take a look, I'll pick the other one this week. And then we'll be starting the study series with the book again sometime, probably around the middle of January. We'll give everyone an opportunity to settle down from the holidays. I think January is going to be a tough month, folks. Right? People will have gotten together anyway. In spite of the warnings, there will be, we anticipate that this is going to worsen for now, not get better. So please do your part to take good care of yourself, essential, and also to take care of others and doing what you can. And thank you so much for that. Why don't we sit together for just another moment while we do the dedication and the offering of the merits of this practice. We're going to call to mind once again Carrie and Renee and all those other essential workers who are on the front line every day, including Andy and other mental health professionals, including those who are helping us with essential supplies, resources, and needs. And may we offer the merits, the blessings, and the benefits of this practice today. May we offer it to them. We breathe it in, we touch into the goodness, and we send it out. Do so several times a day. May we gather this goodness of this practice today and this Sangha. And then may we gather the goodness throughout the whole of this town, this state, this country, and this world, in that ever expanding mist of metta, of loving kindness. Gather it all up in this one in-breath and send it out. Sending it to all those in needs with these blessings. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you have ease of being. May you, if you're weary, food if you are hungry, loving company if you are lonely. May you have bravery in your moments of fear. May you have a stable heart mind in your moments of doubt. And may we have the energy, the perseverance and determination to continue this practice. It's the benefit and the welfare of all beings. May we trust and have confidence that in our presence, all is healed. It's true. May we each be a light in the dark, offering wisdom, love, and compassion with every word and deed. And may all be well, and all manner of thing be well. And know that I am grateful for you. And let this then be a very good day. So be it. Good to see you all. So lovely to see your faces. I look forward to seeing you again. Greg will be here Thursday at 7. I'll be back Saturday at 7:30. We will be continuing in these Bodhisattva practices. We'll be doing the taking in the good, the guru yoga practice this Saturday, so that we can nourish and support ourselves for this big work of on the Bodhisattva path. I'll look forward to seeing you all then. Please know that I'm thinking about you and look forward to sharing in practice with you throughout the week. All right, everyone, be well. I'll hopefully get my computer back online soon so that I have a little easier time navigating all of this. But the practice is the practice, and it is most important. So continue that breath by breath. I'll look forward to seeing you again this Saturday. All right, everyone. Blessings to all. Take good care.